Today I want to share with you an exercise that I find to be really helpful, an exercise that is aimed to help you to stop beating yourselves up so much. And I'm definitely been known to do that quite a lot. And really, it's not that helpful. Usually it just feels really awful. So this is going to help you to not do that quite as much. So basically how it works is that um, before we actually get to the beating ourselves up phase, there's something very simple that happens, which is that we make an observation about an event. So, for example, I get a test back, 65%. So I make an observation that I was like, wow, I got a 65%. From that observation, I form some opinions and judgments. I say like, wow, that's so awful, I did really bad, I'm so stupid, I'm never going to pass college, etc. And from all these negative thoughts, I start feeling pretty terrible. I feel like, oh God, I'm anxious now, and I'm so disappointed, and I feel like a loser, and I feel worthless. All these things come up. So from this one very simple observation comes this horrible emotional reaction, and that leads to us just beating ourselves up. So for a week, what you do is basically you notice when you make this observation, and then you stop. And that's it. So it takes a lot of paying attention, but it's very simple. So you get the test back, it says 65%. You make an observation. Okay, I got 65%, and then just stop. Don't move on into those interpretive thoughts phase and the judgment phase that leads you to the emotional reaction phase. And you'll find that a lot of the stress kind of goes away. So do this for about a week. And I think you'll notice a pretty good improvement in things. And I know what you're thinking, well, if I don't have judgment, I don't have self-evaluation, how am I going to be a better person? How am I going to do better? Or whatever. But that's why I'm saying only do it for a week. Do it for a week so that way you get perspective on when you're maybe judging yourself too harshly and, maybe when you don't need to do it as much. Because I know for me personally, when I get over the top, especially with this black and white thinking of this is right, this is wrong. I'm awesome, I suck. This is good, this is bad. It's not a lot of gray area. And that gets us into trouble because that's when I find most of the stress to come up. When I find things to be just unacceptable rather than just sort of accepting it without judgment, So it's tricky, but I mean, like I was saying, when I beat myself up, it's not like I actually find myself doing better. If I get a bad grade, I beat myself up for it, I feel stupid, and then I get depressed, and I don't feel like studying anymore. So it doesn't really help me that much. So it's really a case of just learning to take things back into more of a gray area and less of this this is awful and beat up and terrible and just kind of situation. So give it a shot. I think you'll find it helps. And let me know how you're doing. And see you shortly.